Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I'm Robin, and we are playing some more gosh darn Silent Hill 3. This is our third playthrough, but we're kind of working our way to our second ending, which requires a lot of murder. But isn't that what the video game spirit is really all about? Let's go ahead and get loaded up. We stopped at the tail end of our playthrough of the Nightmare Mall. So now we're just kind of working our way through. We want to change outfits so that when more people start funneling in, we can check out something kind of neat I didn't know beforehand. At least I didn't know how to activate it, but we'll figure that out later. We're going to go ahead and hop right into this fight. Whatever was growling at me needs to stop. Hey, Judge. Hey, Mom. So, I'm going to wait for a few more people to pop in. But until then, we're just going to jump right on in and shoot a guy to death. I don't know if there are any enemies in this first part. I don't think there are. Hey, Malik. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. The murder stream, yippee! Yeah, Mom, I'm glad you're excited for the murder stream. What? Then we have our first boss, the Split Worm, who we are just going to shoot. And he's gone. Fun! Now, in order to get this second ending, we have a lot of work to do to kill. We have a lot of work to do to get damaged, especially in an efficient way. We have to burn through as much of our health as humanly possible, which means we need to burn through as much of our... we just need to keep finding opportunities to kill ourselves. Without actually dying. I've been playing the new Front Mission remake, by the way, and hey, guess what? It's pretty good. It's kind of nice. Good. It's basically just the old game that you played on the DS. If you, like me, did not even try to download it at a later point until the DS got released. So if anyone is on the fence about that version, so far, I like it. I like it a lot. I think a lot of people were worried because it's from a developer that doesn't have exactly a sterling history, mostly mobile games and stuff. And this particular port is done in Unity, which a lot of people, I think fairly, might take some umbrage with. But for the most part, it just runs well. It's like the worst part about it is that some of the portraits are upscaled kind of poorly, and that's it. And you know what? Not the worst thing. Heather in water should be the canon ending Mason. I love that. Alright, so once we exit the turnstiles, we have to head directly forward. Then, we're going to platform 1 up ahead, where we're going to think about... We're also going to do a couple of different things that we did not do in our last playthrough, which includes, but is not limited to, certain plot points entirely. Because if we do them, the game gets a little harder to do the whole, like, getting the ending we want bit. Mood has been improving thanks to finishing Lost Judgment and watching a new Akiba Maid War. Also, Senran Kagura, very weeb December. Right? See if we can find anything else to kill. Nope, our radio is silent. Okay. So we're going to grab the Nutcracker as we descend the stairs, and that's going to be our way of dealing with a set of chains around the door. I think we're nearly done with Yakuza 3, so I'm kind of in that Ryuga Gotoku studio hype at the moment. Oh, okay. I love having more enemies respawn. They were not joking when they said Lost Judgment has a song that's just a slasher horror theme in the Yakuza style. Yeah, sounds about right. Oh, no. We don't go down the stairs yet. We need to go up the stairs. We're going down the stairs. I think we are going all the way to the end, where we are going to crack open the gate to platform 2. I still love that we have to use a nutcracker on a steel nut. Just video game puzzle logic. Alright, now we're heading into the train, where we're going to pick up our shotgun for no reason other than because, why not? Hey, dude! Yeah, Lost Judgment is like, honestly one of my favorite Yakuzas. I know it's not called that, but it's a Yakuza. Okay, and then we need to get to platform 4, which is... No, we need to get to platform 3. Platform 4 is what we skip. Yeah, Lost Judgment is like... It's an incredibly dense game. It was very clearly made after the most recent core Yakuza title where they learned how to make things very dense and very large and very substantial. And I think they just know how to make a really big game not waste your time. Which has been kind of amazing. There are a number of games I've been playing lately, like Ghost of Tsushima and Horizon Forbidden West and like stuff like that that feels like you're supposed to be playing it forever. And the more you play it, the more you feel like the game just doesn't really care to end. And it's really annoying. Lost Judgment, I played for like about 60 hours. Most Yakuza games, save for 7 and 0, take about 20 to 30 hours to beat. And like get everything you want out of it. This one's about 60, 70 or so. And they justify the length just by having a lot of story content and a lot of little beats and all of these extra game modes that, although they could be fleshed out more, still really work. So like, if we ever end up playing these games, oh man, I cannot wait to show y'all Lost Judgment. And I'm still thinking that 2023 is the year we play all the Yakuza games. I don't know why. The boxing minigame is really good. Boop. Just kick it right in the ass. Okay. So we got through that really fast. We'll be at the underpass, the sewers. So, just to mention, like, the kinds of stuff we'll be doing later. When we reach Silent Hill, we're actually not going to go back for Douglas at the apartment. We're going to skip Douglas in one or two spots. Because, as it turns out, you get a reduction in your points towards getting that second ending if you do so, which may be negligible. You don't want to do that. And then, we're going to get the perfume in the hospital, which draws enemies to you, and in some cases, may spawn enemies. Which is going to be really good. Hey, Kat. Good to see ya. Let's see. Now, we did this. Go ahead and move on because we have been doing very well, and we're not about to hit a part that usually kills us, so boop. Then we officially reach the underpass. You haven't missed much at all. We're just kinda getting things started. Oh yeah. So this is a feature that's exclusive to Extra New Game. Whenever you see these areas get super bloody and evil looking, more often than not, it damages you. It'll damage you for as long as you're in there, which is really handy. But also, not great for when you don't want to get hurt and want to get a high rate. As long as we just make our way out, we're good. It was also saving up some stuff, for when more people showed up that I thought might be kind of fun. And I think we're almost there. Already Doom bot over here. God, if I could arrange just random wads to be thrown into. That, unfortunately, would be hilarious. I don't know how to arrange that. There are a lot of times where I really want to just be inflicted by something random and not know what I'm getting into. Oh, that's a big one. Alright, you're good. You're dead. See if we can find any other nasty critters. Not going through any doors yet until we know. And we know. Okay. So let's go through here. Yes. We need to get the wine bottle. Now that we have a couple of extra people, let's go ahead and see if I can make this work. So when we started our last playthrough, or when we started this playthrough, we already had the transform costume equipped. We didn't unequip it and then re-equip it. So let's do that now. So that is a feature in Silent Hill 3. A game series inspired heavily by Jacob's Ladder that lets you transform into Sailor Murder Moon. Sailor Blood Moon? Ooh. Sailor Blood Moon sounds dope. The cutscene abruptly cutting like that just adds to it. It does! It feels like good and hokey. Oh, hi, Lindsay. You walked in on Silent Hill 3. You walked in on one of the greatest yags of Silent Hill 3. Where Heather can transform into a magical girl. And when we get good enough in this game, we're going to have the ability to murder with our beam. We also have a lightsaber. Don't ask questions. Okay, so we're still just going exactly the right way on accident, and I kind of love that. The underpass is really confusing at first, and then, boom. Space-themed magical girl. Feels like part of the running gag. Yeah, and the third ending that you can get from this game, I believe, is yet another sequel to the UFO ending from the first game. It also abruptly cuts the game short. So now, this is Madoka Magic. Just running around as a magical girl with a machine gun, killing horrific monstrosities. Are there any other nasties? No? Damn. I want to drink the blood of my enemies. Why would Joe Biden do this to me? Alright. Let's grab the wine bottle, and we're going to fill it with kerosene. We're also keeping an eye out for any healing items because we want to get dunked on by a giant naked god lady man person to such a terrible degree that we nearly die up until our imaginary video game points that are hidden in the background go up enough that we get an ending that we want. Made a goof about the inspirations also include cutie honey and it didn't show. What? I didn't even get a message about that. That's very rude. No alert of an automated message. If any of you haven't read Cutie Honey, you should. If any of you haven't watched the live action Cutie Honey directed by Hideaki Anno, you should. Just go nagai forever. I'm surprised I got through that without any issue. It's so easy for me to get turned around sometimes, but for the most part, we didn't even really use the map all that much here. Oh, my wellies are wet. Sounds so nasty. Automod isn't a fan of Go Nagai and ghosted it, perhaps. Rude. Automod confirmed from no fucking taste. Go Nagai, for those of you who don't know, is basically the progenitor of multiple forms of, like, some of the most seminal genres of anime and manga. It was responsible for, I think, the first magical girl transformation. It was responsible for the rise of mech anime with Mazinger. And like, he just kind of kickstarted multiple genres and is one of the most... His stuff is sometimes the most grotesque, hot, like, id-controlled media out there, and it's so good! It's like, what if Fletcher Hanks was a good person and just made dope shit all the time? Automod, like, I've seen Kekko Kamen. That shit is not right. We don't talk about Kekko Kamen. We don't want to get, we don't want to get a TOS violation. Two important things about Go Nagai. He's the godfather of like half a dozen different genres, and he's also a fucking freak affectionate. Yeah, he's a fucking freak. He's great. We love him here. I remember one of Lark's college assignments, which I still absolutely adore, and I wish we had immediate access to the pages. And she already knows what we're talking about. She did the opening to the Fifth Element as a comic in the style of Go Nagai's Cutie Honey. Shout out to him getting into manga because he had such bad diarrhea that it made him contemplate his mortality. That tracks. I mean, that's how Goichi Suda came up with No More Heroes, so that makes sense. It's all toilet based. It's weird how so many of my favorite creators have toilet based epiphanies. Oh. Fifth Element thing. Oh. Potty humor? No, potty art. It's still a good comic and your teacher is wrong. And besides, Go Nagai wasn't good at backgrounds. You were just being authentic. I've seen your backgrounds. You know how to do them. They're also very hard. I also have toilet-based epiphanies, as well you should. So we're going to soullessly, heartlessly kill this poor innocent tentacle monster. And just because I want to, I'm going to do this bit again because I love it.
What was it that you dropped? Was it this precious gold pipe?
Nope.
Well then, was it this magnificent silver pipe?
Nope.
Perhaps it was only this filthy steel pipe that you dropped.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have finally found a truly honest
That makes a lot of
man.
sense. Like
In return, I will give you both the gold pipe and the silver pipe to keep.
it's unfortunate, and he probably shouldn't have dunked on you. But if that's your interpretation, then okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Just one of those times where he didn't factor how the person might receive it. But still, it does suck a little. Okay, can't go that way, so let's go this way. Let's see. Oh yes, give me baddies. Give me things to kill with my gun. Everybody's all like, survival horror isn't as good if you have a gun and your character is competent with it. Here I am, in a fucking magical girl outfit, just assaulting people with infinite bullets, and also I have a lightsaber in my inventory, because I don't give a fuck. Video games are fake. You can do whatever you want. Murder everyone all the time forever. That is an endorsement. No. Everyone was on a time crunch because of the culture the school made, and I didn't know I had ADHD at the time. My epiphany about that came a year or two later. Ah, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, there were a lot of times where I was neck deep in projects, and it was only years later when I started realizing that the reason why I worked the way I did, the way I functioned, like, I'm gonna jumble my words. But a lot of how I responded to those situations, it took me a very long time to realize, oh, yeah, I had checked brain problems at the time. No wonder I'm like this. The thing is, I'm usually, like, Larkin the test, I'm usually pretty good at, like, catching my brain stuff. And, like, addressing it after it gets bad and going, okay, I'm going to maybe not fix this, but definitely learn how to deal with it in at least a somewhat healthy manner. Even if I fail at that, I'm pretty good at that part at least. But it's still, like, it can take forever to learn that about yourself. My time at uni might have been very different if I had gotten some diagnosis and meds. Yeah, college for me, like, I wasn't diagnosed with anything yet. I had a very firm guess that I had depression fairly early on and just sort of assumed that was the case. I didn't know I would, like, be diagnosed with other things for quite some time after. But one of the ways I dealt with college, I was very good at college for the most part, save for a couple of classes that I just had a hard time functioning in. My success at college was largely me hyper-focusing so hard so that I didn't fail at the things that I wanted to be good at. God, hearing that bit right there is so frustrating when you have headphones on, because then I'm just like, give me 1 second, I need to go check the door. There's nobody there. I want to crack this open with the gold pipe. So yeah, I sunk myself really deeply in work and kind of was a massive overachiever in a lot of my classes because I was dealing with an issue where I did not want to deal with my feelings. I just wanted to work. So I had the exact opposite problem. Unless it was programming. Then I just, no matter how hard I tried, I just failed at it. And that's because I'm bad at programming and I did not have a teacher that suited my learning style, and that's a completely different issue. Okay. Now, there is an enemy that potentially respawns here. And I want to kill it a few times. I stan avoidance. Hey, bud. Better try. Yeah, I had a long stay when it came to college. I was in it for like almost 5.5 years. I even stayed after I graduated to do on-site work, which was a very interesting experience. Aw. I was hoping we could respawn the guy, but I guess not. Yeah, Judge, you've been like putting in a lot of work, so I'm not doubtful at all on whether or not you can succeed. Like, you've got this. You've been busting ass and you've been finding better coping mechanisms, better dealing with like the stuff that you're dealing with. I've been paying attention. You've been doing well. Let's see. Okay, now we're at the Hilltop Center building. And this is where things get a little dicey in terms of how to navigate. Let's see. There's one place I want to go. Oh, mannequins. Love it. As we all know, mannequins. I knew that was going to happen, and it still scared me. God damn it. Fuck. Okay. sure there's going to be another one coming soon. Okay, we've got the stairwell, but that's not what we're after. What we're after is that room right there, I think. Because it should be where we can get to the save room. It's also where we can get our frickin' map, which we desperately need. Also, on the easy puzzle difficulty, we don't need a screwdriver. We can just skip that entirely. So I love that. Let's grab some things, see if, I don't think I've been in here. Have I? Maybe not. Maybe I have. Okay, we're good. Well, now we can start running around looking for things to kill now that we have a map. Because remember, this playthrough is all about murder. You good, dude? The other guy. I'm glad they were trying to learn to dance in here. You know, got the ballerina bar. Everybody's just trying to get their dance on. I love it. Okay. We're good there. Whew. And we don't need a screwdriver, so we have a lot of flexibility for where we want to go. Look, it's broken. I don't think we need to go into the bathrooms. I don't think there are ever any bathrooms that are usable in this area. Let's see. A couple rooms we can go into here. And then a couple more up here. No murder room for us. Okay, fine. I just want to kill everything in sight. Where do I need to go next? I think... yeah, we need to go upstairs. So, let's find a stairwell, which is right over here. Head on up. No! Okay, which floor is this then? Oh, that was 4. Shoot. Okay. Well, there we go. I get so close to getting things right, and then I just bungle it. Okay. So good! No! I want to go to the Arthur Parts store! I must be among my brethren. Normally, that's where we get the screwdriver, which is not a thing here. I kind of... okay. I don't know how much I love the idea of just removing puzzles on lower difficulties. But at the same time, I kind of love that we went through normal and hard difficulty and we're rewarding ourselves with puzzles that are literally non-existent. Seriously, I am still quietly driving myself mad over the last 3 puzzles in our last playthrough. That was some of the most bullshit stuff. And I figured it out largely through memory more than anything else. Oh, hey! Buddies! Ah, no more. Fine. Okay, so let's go back through and see if we can find some good murder rooms. Lock is broken. Not a murder room. Oh, this is just a tiny ass room. Okay. It's a useless room. I love useless rooms. Like, literally no reason to be here. I'm sure on higher difficulties there's like something there. But for some reason, I just love when developers just decide, we're going to put a space in here. And we're not going to put anything in it. We are going to design it as if it were a real space. But that's it. You just get to enjoy it. Don't even worry about it. It's fine. I largely love it because it's something that you can only really do when you accidentally don't manage your time or anyone else's. Like, okay, we need this many rooms. We're expecting puzzles to be here, here, and here. We need spaces for this. And then you get to the point where it's just like, okay, actually, we don't need that. Sorry. I know you get... They made some breathing room. Ah! Oh, that was really good. Unfortunately, you nailed it. Fuck you, you nailed it. That was beautiful. Okay, we're going to go back down to the 3rd floor where we're going to use the elevator by grabbing our jack and rope. Nope. We got a jacket and then we got a push rope. There we go. And we are now on floor 2. Okay. So now we're starting to get to the point where we're about to hit the nightmare portion. Which has probably the silliest puzzle in the game. Oh, hey! That door looks familiar. I think that's the door from Silent Hill 1. From the elementary school. It was a door that you required a picture card in order to get through. And they just decided, let's put a similar door here and make it the mental health clinic. That tracks. That works. Probably also thank everyone for not acknowledging that dumbass joke I made earlier. Just for display. Can't really be used. Oh right, we're in an IKEA right now. It's time for blood.
I knew it.
Well yeah, it's just a display item. And now it's displaying your death. So we're going to skip that and move on. Because now we're in a nightmare. I don't think we can actually get to the end in time.
It's being invaded by the other world.
But, man, what if we could? What if we could beat this game tonight and get that get that second ending. Unlikely, but oh, if only. It'll be a lot easier. Oh, hi there. Thank you for the handgun bullets, little dolly. More dolls. Fuck that little guy. What is a horror game if not a chance to look at a whole bunch of fucked up little guys? Okay, so now that we're in the nightmare, we need to take a look at our map. And, ooh, I think we finally have to go get our health checked at the mental health clinic, where we ironically meet Vincent. Got anything? No. Find this girl. Kill her? Unfortunately, the most fucked up little guy is Vincent, who is just this terrible little gremlin that gives off Otacon's dad vibes. Which is so great. Like, you ever just meet a character in a game and just know he invests in crypto? That's Vincent. The man has a fedora-shaped tumor bearing away at his skull. Hidden from sight, but we can all tell. Oh, right, we've been in here. Through this. That you? No. Okay. What floor are we on? We're on the second floor, and I think, pretty soon... Okay, did we get the Oxidol, or is that something that we even need to get? Yes, we've got the Oxidol. And I think we now need to hit the elevators. Now you maybe want to bully fucked up little guys. Look at that! Isn't that ridiculous? Maybe it'll leave if we all laugh at it. Okay, now, we've done that. We don't actually need to check out the fairy tale in full here. We can just skip it. God, I just want to shoot the guy. I just want to shoot him until he dies. But no, that's not how this game works. Some guys, you can shoot. Other guys, you need to read a fairy tale in order for them to die. Let's grab the pork liver, because that's a normal thing to get. Then we're going back into the elevator, up to the fifth floor. Because once we get the matchbook, we can burn the painting, get through a wall that exists behind it. Also, we can go down a set of stairs to read another part of the fucked up fairy tale. Because, and I cannot stress this enough, video games. Okay. Where's the buddies? There's the buddy. Come on, where's another another buddy. There's our Session 9 reference. Go watch Session 9, it's good. Go watch a fucked up movie. Who doesn't love a good fucked up fairy tale, you know? Alright. Or as they used to be called, fairy tales. God, every time I discover the origin of a particular fairy tale and I read it, I'm just kind of sitting there like, I think I would have preferred having this. Yes, it's fucked up, but I think I want that. No more cigarettes for me. I quit for good. You know what, Heather? Good on you for quitting early. Listen, I've been to art school and high school. A lot of people smoked at that age. I'm no narc. But I will also admit that it gave me some aesthetic problems when I started realizing, oh, smoking does make you look cool. That's fucked up. Maybe that's why I keep drawing characters smoking even though I am 100% against tobacco and nicotine. Alyssa had a lot of her own experiences with smoking. See? It all works out. Also, you're terrible, and I love that. Vicariously living through your characters by giving them a little ciggy as a treat. Alright, then we read the second chapter of the fairy tale. And we head through the door. Almost done with this section of the game. Oh, still more? Yes, get over here. You see a fucked up little guy. Yeah! That's my shit. Oh, rude. I made it a part of my one smoker OC story that he's trying to quit, and it just keeps not working. Is this... because he's an anxious wreck who needs the silly little vices to live. Oh, so it is the one with the oral fixation. Okay. Is that telling on you too much? I mean, I say this, but I have so many characters with so many terrible vices. One character. Nailed it. Sorry. I read you for filth. I didn't intend to. But just from that, I'm able to tell. Yeah. Okay. There you go. One of these days, you're going to get these stories out there, and you're going to make a lot of people very happy for providing content. Just let me have this as an underrated character trait. It is. It really is. I think it's really easy to, you know, pass moral judgment on characters for having vices, but at the same time, it's really fun, though, to let your little guys be fucked up and do fucked up things. Because you're not doing it, so it should be fine. Alright, we grab a coin. We drop the coin in the vending machine, we get a drink, we open it, and we get a key to life insurance. Does it make sense? It never does. And now that we have that, we can start going down to, let's see. Down or up? First floor, okay. My favorite brainworm about it is, one time, he gets saved by his superhero friend. He's clearly losing it, and the friend pulls a pack of cigarettes out of a pouch and is like, just this once, I know you need this. Yeah, that sounds about right. Part of me is thinking, you could, like, totally just sell short stories on Amazon or something, and just get them out there like that. People would love it. But I'm going to stop there, because, I've already read one of your characters for Filth, and, as much as I want to keep doing that over and over again... Okay, not ready there. Let's go past here, and into this door. Thinking back on that episode of Venture Brothers. Which one? 'Cause I've been thinking a lot about Venture Brothers today.
Hi, Yonka.
What was that? What was that sound, Heather? The bodyguard is trying to light a cigarette for Dr. Quinn. Oh god, yeah. It's like, anybody got a light? As the hut burns behind them. Yeah, I guess she does have special voices when she's in the costume. Kinda like when Bayonetta has the katana. Also, that frickin' episode is one of my favorites of Venture Brothers. Especially because it's kind of followed up with, apparently she also has a special voice clip when swinging the mace. Did not experience that when I was using it a lot, but now I want it. Should really remember to consider a character's vices when I'm making them. Sounds like a really great scene for a brainworm. Yeah, it's just so good. Give your characters vices. Give them coping mechanisms. My pants are haunted! That is a very good episode. It's not my favorite, but that line is just so good. And the context is just peak stupid idiot boys. It also contains Hunter saying Brock is a quarter Winnebago. I mean, he's built like it, isn't he? I love that episode is also like the starting point for Brock getting into butch women. At the the jungle episode is where he starts getting into butch women. He's scared at first, but clearly in the later seasons, it's not so much an issue anymore. Such a good bit. Brock Sampson deserves and must be pegged. I didn't phrase that right. I don't think there is a way to English that correctly. From Doc to me specifically. Right? It's so good. Thank you, Doc Hammer and Jackson Public. So the protagonist from the first game is officially dead. And we are moving on with our lives to be a teenage girl. Hold on, we have to enter our goth phase. There we go. We're all tatted up now because we are having emotional problems. Sorry, Dad can't come to the phone right now. Oh? Because he's dead. Alright, I think we can get through the hospital pretty quick. But the great thing about the hospital that we'll be able to do is that we will be able to get the perfume. As I mentioned before, it draws enemies to you, and in some cases, some believe that it also spawns in new enemies, which is great for us, and we're going to leave it on for the rest of the game. Also, just a little shout out to Team Silent for making it so quick to change costumes without any major loading. On the PS2? That's insane. Yeah, this game does have a Konami code that I might use eventually just to show it off. But, oh my god. In short, the code can be applied in an extra new game. And it, like, I won't say specifically what it is until later. But it gives Douglas a new outfit. And it turns an early scene into something completely freaking ridiculous. So when we do it, we are going to watch the cutscene where he first shows up, because it takes on a totally new context with that outfit on, and it's like, power to them. They came up with some ingenious and terrible costumes for this game, thus establishing a precedent that honestly should have been met as often as possible, because holy shit. I'm going to do a little bit of exploring just to see if I can spot any extra enemies. It's weird, I'm actually, like, I didn't think this would happen. I'm starting to actually intuit some, not a lot, but some of the layouts here, so that we can actually, like, get through more quickly. I say this as I'm ducking into corners, but I'm literally just trying to see if there are any items I haven't seen. Come on, give me some baddies. I would like them. I would like to shoot my gun. I suppose I can shoot my gun whenever, but I wanted to hit something. There we go. Goodbye, puppy. Oh, I heard that. Yes! I don't want to kill Buppy, but I'm going to kill Buppy. Because that Buppy, the B, stands for Bastard from Hell. Okay. Let's see. Do I want to attack him right now? Yeah, I do. That one's down. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? There we go. enough. This area is usually... It's not the hardest area to, like, suss out, but... It can sometimes be a little tough to get everything right. Much like in Silent Hill 2. Ooh. Nope, music died down because we killed everything. Yay! Where is the elevator? There is the elevator. There we go. So we're going to go to the second floor and go into the women's locker room. It's kind of funny, like, there are a ton of, like, just to kind of jump on the first half of the point that Judge was making about the most cursed Konami code ever, the kind of interesting thing about the costumes is that most of them are kind of the same. This was an early game that made use of media outlets to try and include like a bunch of weird and interesting costumes. So you had stuff from like IGN and like GameFan and a bunch of other magazines, including stuff from like magazines that are no longer around, which I think is neat. In the HD releases, those codes were not made available. Press, move 2 right. Press, move 1 up. Press, move 2 down. Press, the door shall open. Okay, so we need to find a position on the thing that lets us get all the way across without going over the keypad. Yeah, there's the IGN. It contains a pickle guy. So press move 2 right, up, down. I already know what this is. It starts with 4. It's the only number where you can like move 2 up and 2 down. So press move 2 right, move 1 up, move 2 down. 4, 6, 3, 9. Yeah, they did a surprisingly decent job. Also, should probably be mentioned, one of the best ways to play this and Silent Hill 2 is actually to get the PC versions from GOG and get the widescreen fixes. So if you ever want to play a really good version of this game, there are PC versions available that are the best possible way to go. Okay, now we go to M4. And because it's easy difficulty, 0945. Just tells you what the time, like what the code is. Then we grab the instant camera, which I think we'll need, but it's not really all that important. Also, I should go ahead and check the rooms for a good murder room. Come on. Give us a bunch of nurses to fight. Yay! What's the only Silent Hill available to purchase for Steam? I already know, it's Homecoming. I know, because I checked. And it's really weird that that's the only one they ever made available. Homecoming was a valiant but very misshapen effort to make Silent Hill for a Western audience. And, or rather, have a Western developer make a game for the franchise. And it did not. If we ever play any of the Silent Hill, like, Western sequels, I feel like everybody's going to tell what the problem is. Although, like, God, here's my problem. I don't think the Silent Hills made by the Western developers are that bad. They're not great games, and they clearly fetishize Silent Hill a little too much. Not even the town, not even the aesthetic, just the previous games and the franchise as a whole, to the point where they, at best, come off like fan fiction, where they're just including their favorite bad boys, like Red Pyramid thing, and that was like Homecoming's special problem, where they just took this thing that was very bespoke for this one experience and went, let's shove them in again. Which a lot of fans correctly clocked as being kind of shit. And that ethos would kind of bleed into the rest of the game pretty hard. I say this genuinely enjoying Homecoming to a certain extent. But God, making that the only available thing you can get is... Konami's great at business decisions, that's all I'll say. Just fantastic. Oh boy! And again, if Konami were good at making financial decisions, Silent Hill 3 might never have been made. Silent Hill 1 might never have been made. So, you know, we take what we can get. Now let's go ahead and grab, let's see, where's nail polish remover? Let's grab the key off of here because this guy just likes to glue things to a wall. Which is a totally normal thing to do. Okay. Now we can go to the stairwell and head down to the basement. Come on. Heather. Aim correctly. Yeah, it's weird because GOG actually has like a lot of games that you wouldn't expect to be digitally available, like Metal Gear Solid for PC is available there. They even have like the PC version of Metal Gear Solid 2. They have a bunch of games that, with some light modding and some tweaking of the internal files, are really good versions of those games. I've heard of throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks, but that seems a bit over the top. Don't worry about it. Okay, 1724. I nearly killed a friendship over that game. Well? Explain. I need to know the story because you can't just say that and not have me ask. And you know that. Okay, now we're going up to the third floor. I described MGS1 to a friend. He said, "Oh, I love that game. The MP5 was my favorite weapon." Excuse me? Calling him a fucking liar. Oh my god. That... Oh no. I mean... It's yeah, it's in there. It is a weapon you can get and has been a part of the franchise since the NES Metal Gear 2. And they even added that to Metal Gear Solid 3. So yeah, it was available in Metal Gear Solid Integral. That game did I don't think that game had a lot of extra features, but Integral was like the one time Westerners did not get the like the big fancy version. Oh hi. Goodbye. God, that so now I have to explain this. Metal Gear Solid Integral is sort of the European version of Metal Gear Solid 1 that had some extra features. There's a version that contains VR missions. Integral also had like some other exclusive items that were not available in the original release and introduced the world to European Extreme, I think, which is an extra hard difficulty available exclusively through that version of the game and was subsequently added in like I think I think they have added it exclusively through enhanced editions of various Metal Gear Solids. Okay, now we punch in the code we found earlier, 1742. That's not, no, 1724. I read my notepad file wrong. One day we'll play Metal Gear. It's gonna be, okay, I realized a problem that I'm going to have if I ever play Metal Gear on these streams. It's something I want to do. It's something I feel I must. However, starting with 3 and ooh, Hope House, an orphanage on the outskirts of Silent Hill. Starting with 3, they do a lot of licensed music. Some of it will get flagged in 2, but once 3 starts, I'm going to get so much of my audio muted. It's going to suck. Behind its false image is a place where children are kidnapped and brainwashed. Hope House is managed by the Silent Hill Smile Support Society, a charity organization sometimes called 4S. It's true that 4S is a well-respected charity that takes in poor children without homes and raises them with hope. But at its heart, it is a heathen organization that teaches its own warped dogma in lieu of good religious values. Mr. Smith, temp, who lives near Hope House, had this to say. Sometimes at night I can hear their weird prayers and the sounds of children crying. I went there to complain one time, but they ran me right out. Since then, it hasn't changed a bit. In fact, this reporter was refused admission when he attempted to take photos in the facility. What exactly do the folks at Hope House have to hide? During my investigations, I was able to discover, however, a suspicious-looking round concrete tower, which appears to be part of their facilities. Unfortunately, no one was willing to tell us what the tower was used for. But it seems unlikely that it has anything to do with the business of raising orphans. It may in fact be a prison or a secret place of worship. The cult religion that operates Hope House is known by the locals simply as the Order. It's a religion that is deeply interwoven with Silent Hill's history, but its worshippers' fervent belief that they are among the elite chosen people has a dark and dangerous side. I intend to continue my investigation of Hope House and the cult behind it. I've always believed that telling the whole truth and showing the children the true path is our most important duty. Joseph Schreiber. Hope House. I feel like I've heard that name before. Well, you're not going to hear it again for the rest of this playthrough. So don't even worry your pretty blue head about it, Heather. Let's see. We're just kind of taking our time through all this. Because I'm trying to find murder rooms. Oh, hey! There we go. And another! Hell yeah! There we go. And now, after just a couple more rooms to dig into, yep, nothing. Dang. Why doesn't this game want me to do murder on everything? It's constantly robbing me of opportunities to be a tiny tatted lesbian with blue hair and pronouns. Just refusing every opportunity to eviscerate everything with bullets, and I think that's unfair. Let's see. Ears out. Do we have... We don't have enemies in here. Damn. Oh well. Now we're wrapping up the initial version of the hospital and moving on to the nightmare version. Just by going through this door and entering a totally normal part of the hospital that all hospitals have. The death maze. This is what happens when you design your hospital without, you know, good user experience in mind. Just think back to that color theory post on Tumblr. I'm thinking, this place could have benefited from that actually. And turn around. Keep forgetting that I have a quick turn. I try to get it, but I never actually remember. Okay, so making way down here, and everything shuts. Then we poke this, and it gives us a vision of Lisa Garland, best character from the first game. Who did get to eat that guy. Good for her. I kind of love this guy right here. I don't think he hurts you or anything. He's just kind of hanging out. Twisting a little valve that does nothing. It's his fidget spinner. And now we are in the Nightmare Hospital proper. We're going to take an opportunity to run through here and kill whatever shows up, but nothing is here. Damn. I just wanted to kill. That's so wrong. Lock is broken. And outside the window, we're not going to worry about that. We're going to continue moving on. Let's see. see. Anything else in here? Oh yeah, there's like nothing that we can access because it's all blood. Oh, right. Can't do that yet. We need to go through the day room. Then hit up the elevator. I think we get the little scrambly guys. Yes. And then we can descend the elevator to F. You know, I never actually watched Silent Hill 3 Revelations. I feel like I should have, as penance for still loving the Silent Hill franchise after all these years. As somebody who actually enjoyed the first movie by Christoph Gans, I know it's very polarizing for Silent Hill fans. I think it's fine. Good, even. But I've heard nothing but terrible things about the second movie, which is based on this game. Everything I saw about it made it come off like an amusement park ride, you know? You know, fear remakes, you welcome them. Your punishment must be more severe. Oh, God. I do, is the thing. Give me the worst stuff, please. I am 100% down for good remakes, and we won't get those if we are all against remakes. I think there are too many remakes, but sometimes they're good, and I want them. Okay, now I think... Wait... Yes, this is where we need to go. This is the one room I didn't go into. We are going to look to our right. Then we're going to go back up. Nice trivia for y'all. Heather is a playable character in Dead by Daylight, and the lore in the game explains that after the events of Silent Hill 3, she decided to volunteer at a youth crisis intervention center to help others as well as find coping mechanisms for her own trauma. Yeah! Okay, so I don't fuck with Dead by Daylight or its developer because they got into NFTs. But I will credit them for taking the time to write out some really in-depth lore and for all their characters. And some of their stuff, including the licensed stuff, is like, oh wow, y'all decided to try and like put a little authorship on things, and you made something interesting. You made something that makes it feel like, oh, you actually care about these characters. The coping mechanism involves studying the blade. I mean, sometimes you gotta. Where was... Oh, we just passed it. We need to go into... There. Go to the blood bucket. Use the plastic bag. Get the heck out. Take the elevator down to the basement level 3. And... Oh. The game loaded. I just accidentally turned off my flashlight. Cool. Yeah, there are some good writers on that team. They've bungled some things in the past, but, like, considering it's one big, you know, horror movie monster send-up, they could have phoned it in on a lot of that writing. But no, they actually, like... This is something that I also look at Riot Games for, another company that I don't really buy anything from because I don't trust them. But their lore writers go in depth. I'm not saying that their stuff is good, but I appreciate the attention. Okay, so there is no puzzle here. Let's see. Did I see that right? 0 and 2. Yeah, so technically there is a code here, but we don't need it because there's no puzzle, and therefore we can leave. Again, easy mode riddle difficulty is almost, but maybe not quite, infantilizing. Hey, Knickerbob. Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing better. Hopefully Necrocar is doing well. Or at least, hopefully the future of Necrocar is looking well. There's another one. Come on. Be dead. Okay, she gave us a little yell, like we need. I think there's still something in here with us. Nope. Everything is dead. Love it. Okay. Where do we need to go? We need to go into the day room, I think? Got Necrocar back, all fixed up? Hell yes! Excellent. Okay, she did. Happy first birthday! Okay, so we got. Oh dear. Hey! There we go. Come on, give us some murder. Yes! Yes, we got 3. This is good. And if we're lucky, yes, we even got some health items. So, a fun fact about healing items is that they have a very fixed value. I don't know how well we know the exact numbers, but in essence, things go from healing 25% with the health bottles to 50% with the first aid kits, all the way up to 100% with the ampoules. Which I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Ampoules, ampoules, amp owls. Let's go with that. That's fun. So we can actually kind of track how much damage we take by tracking how much each item, like how many times we use specific health items before we completely max out. Amp owls are like the hardest one because they heal 100, and you're never at 0, so you never know exactly how much health you have at any given moment. So if you ever want to like process exactly how much damage you take, A, you're not gonna, especially if you're using amp owls. B, you can get a good approximation, especially if you like tick off every enemy you kill, add a point, and multiply by 10, and factor in how much health damage you take. Oh, an hour later, we're going to fucking die. In this house, we kill these things. Get that good catharsis going. Yeah, fucking die. Claudia sucks, but you suck worse. And with the talisman, we can now move on with our lives. Aren't really any more enemies here, so we're just going to head on out. Because now, we can actually go to the Lakeside Amusement Park. if I remember correctly,
Why did you send her to my...
we don't have to go back to Jack's Inn. But I may be mistaken on that. Let's see what the game does to us. Because there is a specific point, and I don't know which one, where we can't go back for Douglas. And I think it might be at the amusement park. But also, I think it might be here, and I could be mistaken. We don't have the note to leave for the amusement park yet, because we don't meet Douglas here. We meet Vincent, who is mysteriously at our apartment, or our, not apartment, hotel. So yeah, I think I sussed out that we do need to return here, but we don't need to do a specific thing later in the game. Actually, we're making good time? I don't think we can finish in time, but what if? See, we're almost there. Yes, another baddie. Come on. I hear another. Come on, get over here. Here's some bullets. Excellent. Ugh. I hate that I have to kill dogs, but I love when number go up. That's the wrong place to be. Okay. That makes sense. It's a weird way to phrase it, but okay. So they do close a lot of stuff off, it looks like. Which is fine. Not really an issue. But also, I would really like to go spelunking in this town. Starting to think about things I would like to do in some survival horror games that I really wish somebody would make. The closest we've gotten is Soma, where the developer gave us the option to turn off visibility of the monsters so that you can walk around freely. And ooh, got a replacement order for the Black Sad book. Hell yeah. Well-drawn comics. Get in on that. One thing I kind of want is a non-horror game. You know how Viscera Cleanup Detail is kind of based around the idea of like, you're coming in after an action level has been plunged through by an action hero, and everybody's dead, there's blood everywhere, there's giblets all over the place. And like, you go in Viscera Cleanup Detail as the janitor who has to go and clean everything up. In fact, they even added to this point by making a spin-off based on the game Shadow Warrior, which I also started playing recently, and it's very fun. The remake, not the very original. I've never played the original, even though I have it, because of course I do. I want a Silent Hill or a Resident Evil or something where you play as just this person who comes in after all the damage is done. And you get to explore and spelunk and find artifacts and all this stuff just because, like, hell has already been unleashed, the problems have already been solved, and you're just coming in just like being like a geotagger or whatever. Oh, that's also a good idea. Resident Evil spin-off where you play as the guy hiding the zombie bodies while the protagonist is in another room. Zombie cleanup detail. I mean, this combined with my survival horror where you play Locksmith. Spin-off where you're the guy who has to put all the puzzles and key items back together. Oh, that would be insanity. It's really good though. It's a great idea. Okay, so we're going to go all the way to the edge here. There we go. And we've got our key. 4 badges, jewels, keys are already in, so you have to grab them and figure out where they were originally. God. I mean... like, you could take that from any angle. You could just be like, yeah, let's make a game where you're the person who has to follow the instructions to put in the puzzles. Like, you are the home construction company that got given these insane designs from some eccentric billionaire. Like, the idea of, like, being involved in the, not the making, but the construction of the terrible, like, puzzle rooms of all these places is such a neat idea. Call it the unmaking. Spooky implications, but you really are just unmaking completed puzzles. It's a good idea. Temple Maintenance Squad. The game could have a ranking system based on how hard you make the puzzle. Like, you just hide the badges under a pillow, or if you put them in some weird-ass contraption. Yeah, put a key inside a box that requires a jewel that can only be gotten via grabbing a digital lockbox that you have to solve a puzzle for, that you can only unlock if you, like, find the code for the combination lock. There we go. Like that kind of string. Okay, I just love the idea of a Stepford wife supervisor in a game, though. So you already have me sold there. Could be a stealth game. Hey, we need to put the puzzle back together, but don't you dare kill or spook any of the monsters. They're not for you. Sneak around them. Yes, but now I'm thinking like a game designer right now, where I'm just kind of sitting here like, okay, do you do that, or do you make it so that they don't even pay attention to you? You're not the baddie. You're not what they're after. Oh no. My brain has come up with a genius idea. Survival horror monster ranger. So, here's my thinking. Survival horror games have monsters of all kinds, oftentimes zombies, but you always get like bespoke, special, nasty creatures that are like bosses or uniques that only show up once in a while. And so you actually have to cultivate and train them. If you've ever played, oh god, I've forgotten the name of it. There are a bunch of games where you play as the villain and you're like the supreme overlord and you are designing dungeons that you have to make adventurers go through. I'm thinking something like that where you are a contractor for a survival horror villain that Dungeon Keeper, Evil Genius, there was also one for the PSP series that I can't remember the name of. even though I've been playing it.
That's Danny. This mansion is quite old.
Yeah,
So
and the
please,
ceiling falls
I'm
down.
so sorry.
It wasn't supposed to
This
stop.
place is just falling apart.
Deception is also
the
good.
mechanism is broken, you see. It wasn't supposed to stop there.
Let's see.
I assure you.
Let's see if I can find it in as few
That was supposed to be the exit.
terms
But
as
it seems that
possible.
no one wants you to leave. Everyone
Okay.
really likes
While we're doing that,
They want you to stay with them forever.
okay,
I have to agree
go
with
this
them.
way.
Don't be afraid.
I'm doing two things at once right now, and this is not a smart
Much
idea.
easier.
This is bad content because nobody can see what I'm searching for. But it was this PSP game that had like this weirdly long title, and it was very tongue-in-cheek humor. Calm down, Torgo. He never will. But yeah, long story short. Oh, it was called the Batman series. Like, Batman always featured in the title in some way, and you played as a very vampire-looking dude who, like, the games have a very Zeboid Games kind of feel to them, where, like, it's very self-aware and silly and stupid, and, it leaned on that. Now I just want to play them again. Imagine having to cultivate... let's see if I can find it. Now that I remember the title. Holy invasion of privacy, Badman. What did I do to deserve this? There we go. They've since made other games, but it's great. Yeah, I think PS Plus of some kind with the Classic Skywalker collection. You can actually get like one of the later collections that featured content from both games that were released up to that point, plus extra. But yeah, it's one of those kinds of games. Imagine having to cultivate different monsters for different demographics of horror games. Like, blood and guts type monsters are relatively easy, but make something for a Luigi's Mansion type game is trickier because you have more restrictions. Yeah, I like that. Oh, so you have different overlords or different masterminds or whatever. Police invasion. Let's see if I can. Holy invasion of privacy, Badman. What did I do to deserve this? It is a fantastic title. Very few people actually say the holy, like, the what did I do to deserve this part, but it's an important part. This is what happens when I have the audio too loud. I have to re-explain things. But it's worth it because now people are checking it out. I want to turn the game audio down a little bit. Okay, now how do I get to the place I need to go? I feel like you could apply that subtitle to like 40% of all video games ever made. Kind of want to, just for the hell of it. Oh, right. And then we apply chain. I always keep a guide handy when I play something like this, but haven't really needed it. We have played this enough that, like, we are surprisingly decent at this. Okay. Then I think we see Douglas here in a second. Yep, that's his cutscene, and then we walk away. We do not go back for him. We keep moving. We talk to him and check up on him. We lose some points, which we don't want to do. We don't want to lose points. We're not even going to pick up the book. We are going to pick up the Amp Owls. Let's see. Going to use a couple. Oh, too many. Oh well, whatever. I accidentally used 3. We only needed to use 2. Hopefully that doesn't bite us in the butt later. Books are important. Not that one. We know all about it. Our questions are answered. We stick the doll head in Snow White's hand by first selecting the correct category of items, because the doll's head looks like an apple in a shadow, and then we go through the door. The puzzles in this game, okay, I really like this game. There are many reasons why I actually prefer it over the first 2 games, but the puzzles are a problem. The puzzles are so, like, obtuse at times, especially on higher difficulties, that it just becomes a gigantic pain in the ass to play sometimes. So unless you know what you're doing right away, it's a lot better on repeated playthroughs. But, oh boy. Leaving the game for like 10 years and coming back to it and replaying it is just like kind of a nightmarish experience, because, oh man, you are not going to remember how that puzzle works very well. You might remember little tidbits, or you might remember, oh, this sucks. But you're not going to remember the solution because it's too obtuse. You're not going to be able to figure it out from your own memory. God. Start going back to thinking about survival horror Monster Rancher. Ugh. I just want that game now. I don't even care. Just somebody make it. I have so many game ideas, and I'm not a game developer anymore. And I should be a game developer because I have a lot of good ideas that deserve to be had and shared with, you know, people who actually know what they're doing. I'd like a mechanic where your monster gets graded by how difficult they are to kill. That would be good. I like the idea of, like, there being a rating for how often the hero or survivor just fucking runs away. When I am Mrs. Hideo Kojima, I will hire you. Listen, Kojima would sign off on all my ideas. Because he signs off on all his own ideas. And that is the best mistake. There are so many things that we could get into in our Metal Gear Solid run through that's going to happen eventually. That, it's going to be kind of wild digging into, like, the behind the scenes of the games. And the characters that were cut, and the concepts that were removed and tweaked and changed, especially when we get into, like, Metal Gear Solid 4, which is... Oh. Make Death Stranding 2 a bowling sim. Hi, Future Mute. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'd like that. Slowly teach it attack patterns, training it to have a bunch of health or to be faster. Just figuring out a good monstro. That would be good. Ugh. What if? Then we have the memory of a Lesser fight. Put it back up. Okay, she's done. we're good. We'll never even see anyone. Oh, there we go. Where you at? Come on. Not even a little bit. That's how great this is. Just boop. There we go. I believe that's the end of the fight. Yep. When you know the game just well enough that you can just kinda skip past the annoying parts. It's very good. Love this game. Okay, then we go in. I believe it's time for the church. Which puts us right near the end of the game. I don't think we're far enough yet to guarantee the second ending. But if we have... Actually, let's check our supplies real quick. We have 25 health drinks, 8 first aid kits, and 5 amp owls. That's pretty good. We can get... Let's see. The game pretends that you have 100 health, thereabouts, and each point of damage is 1 health, and that leads to 1 point. So, Memory of the Lesser Fight does have significant meaning in terms of the story, but I see what you mean. It does have meaning, and it's great. It's genuinely a fun fight. But we are currently in our third playthrough trying to achieve the second ending, which is proving to be a little stubborn. And I am looking to tear through everything with impunity. It is a really good bit, though, and I love that little element of the story that you see afterwards where you read that little blood letter on the floor, and you realize, oh, Heather is literally living like 3 different lives at the moment. I'm gonna forgive so we can get this ending. Okay. This is also the part where we start finding a lot. I mean, we've already started finding all of Harry's notes, but oh. Yeah, the confession sequence is great. I've never read up on who it is supposed to be in there. Like, I've been kind of just sitting on letting that moment exist without trying to interpret it for a long time. And I really should, like, actually see what people have to say about it. Okay, we don't need the cassette tape. We don't need the handgun bullets either. We do have Majima Everywhere technology in this, the year of our Luigi. This year and every year is the year of our Luigi. Forever and ever. Amen. Okay, then we have this place, which is great. I don't think there's anything in here. I just like coming to this room. It's just a save point. It's not ever determined. It's just a great turning point for Heather's character. Yeah, because up to this point, Heather, up until we get to this point, Heather is very rebellious and pushy and standoffish. And just generally a teenage girl. Ooh, I should just watch Woolie's stuff. 'Cause I hear the Silent Hill runs are really good. But, yeah, it's... There's a part of me that's kind of like listening to that confessional where, like, from this point we are talking about, like, at this point in the story, Heather has come to terms with the fact that she is actually not just Heather. She is Cheryl and Alessa all rolled up into one. And if I were to sit there and let myself interpret it, even though the character is dead and gone, there's a part of me that feels like it's some posthumous Dahlia confession, which I don't think there's a lot of evidence for that at all. And there doesn't really need to be. It's just a thing in my head. And the ending that you get for forgiving it and getting enough points and everything is like, to forgive everything that Dahlia did is in and of itself quite the bastard move. Not really a great idea. But, like, given her awareness, she's incredibly well adjusted. Intensely so. She's able to joke about this stuff. Like, she is... Harry and James are very disconnected on an emotional level. They are traumatized, they are scared and seeking they are seeking their quantum of solace. They are trying to, like, find the thing that fills the void in their hearts. And Heather doesn't have that problem. Heather has her own issues. She grew up without a mom. She grew up not really knowing who she was. She grew up with a dad who, like, for the longest time was pretty cagey about where she came from, who she was, all of that. And at most, she just kind of had a rebellious streak. She smoked, she got into trouble a little bit, but, like, nothing too nasty. But, like, she also had a dad who, when he took the time to express himself, he let himself be incredibly honest. Like, yeah, Harry is just the best dad ever, forever, always, and forevermore. Especially when you read some of those notes where he admits to a lot of terrible thoughts that he nevertheless, like, says, like, even if I did think all those things, the fact is, you are my everything, and you are my daughter in no uncertain terms. Like, just knowing full well that she's never going to read this stuff. Knowing full well that Heather might not ever have to deal with this, ever. He still bears his soul. Knowing that the possibility that Heather could be dragged into this and have to read all this, she's just like, she gets to see that part of him in a way that is really important in the moment. And they did it in such a way that actually makes it feel like they did it in such a way that really makes me appreciate this game a great deal, because they could have just not. They could have let Harry just be this mythical figure that exists but does not take up any sort of narrative space other than, oh, he gets killed off at a certain point, and that's it. But no, they decided not to do that. What they decided to do was give everybody a chance to see who Harry actually was. They gave him the depth, they gave him the substance that he needed without fundamentally altering his character. It just kept informing us who he was supposed to be. And like, that's really cool. Like, that's genuinely helicopter parent times 1000, but I love this kid. I would actually argue against him being a helicopter parent, even though I think, like, you're kind of on the money. Because I think how he deals with, I guess, his depression is fascinating. And, like, his willingness to let go of Cheryl and accept that this new person is here. And she has to be taken care of, and she has to be treated with some kind of respect. And like, just accepting this kid outright and just going, you know what? No, this is my child. I need to make sure that nothing ever happens to them. Like, it's just, you think he was depressed? Oh, if not depressed, then definitely traumatized. The canon notes that we have for Silent Hill 1 is that he was kind of in a fugue state for a lot of Cheryl's youth. Need to plug in my headset. And it was Cheryl's suggestion to go to Silent Hill, or at least to go on vacation. And this was largely done because Harry was very, like, still in grief. He wasn't ready to accept that, like, he had this problem with himself. He was not ready to accept that, like, oh, did we miss a key? I think we did. I need to get to a... Yeah, we need to go back real quick. We should also probably save because it's 8 o'clock, and although we're very close to the end, I got somewhere to be, and it's going to take a while to get all of the... Yeah, there we go. You know what? I'll extend it up to the final fight. We'll do this, and we'll call it good there because I want to finish my thought. Like, Harry is going through a lot of grief and continues to go through grief by the end of Silent Hill 1, regardless of the ending. And he's constantly struggling with, yeah, be God and call it a day. We'll be God next time. We'll be God Saturday. Since we're going for the second ending, we need to take a lot of damage, so we need to get some more health items, and we need to take our time with that fight so that we can get all that. But we're almost there, so it'll be good to sign off then, because who knows how long that'll take. Saturday night's alright for fighting God. And then, if we get it, we get to start our especially fun 4th playthrough for the 3rd ending. It's an ending I've never gotten, and I am excited as hell to get it. In fact, I don't think I've gotten anything but the basic ending for this game. I think I tried and failed miserably. So this might be just a whole bunch of good stuff. Cat says, regular guy who got caught up in some messed up stuff, messed him up in the process, and made a conscious decision to not take that trauma out on a child who didn't deserve any of it. Yeah. Like, he made such a deliberate effort to do the right thing in spite of his pain. He may not have been emotionally ready for it, but he did it anyway. And okay, so we also have Shattered Memories, which I think is a good game. It is a really interesting transformative work that takes the content of Silent Hill 1 and reinterprets it through a different lens. It could have been terrible, and I think it's genuinely fantastic. Not everybody's thing, but I want to play it eventually. But yeah, it's just good shit. Let's see. Need to go this way. Yes. But yeah, Harry is the best dad so much because he is trying his best to do the right thing in spite of himself. I am referring to Shattered Memories. It is a polarizing game, and not a lot of people like it. But I think for its time when it released, it was a very interesting experiment. It was probably a bad Silent Hill, but it's a really interesting game that I think, if handled well, when talking about like what the work actually means, what the work provides to the rest of the Silent Hill franchise, it's definitely one of the like better attempts at making a Silent Hill game post Team Silent. And I think they do something really cool with it. Makes me think of a bit by the book, from the book The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher, the main character describing her relationship with her dad. I don't read the New Testament, nor should you. Yeah, like, pretty much, I know for a fact that any time I bring up post-Team Silent Hill games, I am entering into uncharted territory. And I'm interested in them, and I like playing them, but they are not games that are talked about in the same breath as canon material. And A, that's really fucking funny, and B, it makes for really interesting conversations when the best parts of some of those games can be used to find new angles for the older titles. Because they do try, and they most often fail. But sometimes they get an idea that's really good. And it makes me think about, like, okay, if Team Silent ever got back together, the right people got into developing the Silent Hill franchise again, for real. Not handed off to another studio that doesn't really know how to do it. Some of those ideas are interesting to hint at, and could be fun if reinterpreted in a new way. And I can't talk about Shattered Memories too much, because to talk about what that game is all about is a spoiler. But it is an interesting one. It is the only Silent Hill that was made after Team Silent that I would genuinely go, you know what? That one's pretty good. It's the only one. Everything else, I'm like, this is an okay game, until you call it a Silent Hill, and then it's terrible. Ugh. Let's see. Finishing up, main character describing her relationship with her dad. To paraphrase, he would never ask anything of me, and that's why I would do anything he asked of me. That level of mutual respect and love, even if it might look detached to an outside POV. Yeah, like, it says a lot. It's one of those things where it's like, you can trust somebody to lead you in the right direction because you know their character and you can rely on them in that way. And it's one of the things I really love. Like, it's why Harry's death in this game actually hits really well. He loved his child unconditionally with no baggage. Best dad. Yeah, he knew what he figured out what he was getting into, and he embraced it. He took the responsibility he needed to. Best dad, Harry Mason. However, even though we're about to attack and dethrone God, we are stopping for now. Because we are done for the evening. We've hit our time. So yeah, I've been Robin at Andrew Jack Without a C. There are VODs available for 60 days after initial airing. I didn't say the full Robin thing. I've been Robin at Andrew Jack Without a C and will continue to be so for the foreseeable future. There we go. VODs are available for 60 days after initial airing. There are follower and subscriber exclusive emotes. And if you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming, which means you have a free gift sub to gift every single month, including to other chatters. And that's it. That's the spiel. We'll be back Saturday with more of this. Hopefully, we'll get the possessed ending. It's going to be tight. I'm not going to lie. But I have a good feeling. I think we can do it. If not, fifth playthrough. Fourth? Fourth playthrough. Fourth playthrough. So, everyone, get hydrated, get vaccinated, get vaxxed up. Be good, be safe, be awesome, and be gone. Bye, everybody, and thank you, Future Mute, for coming. So yeah, bye.